Hello, heretics, and welcome back to an emergency update for the CRUSADE version 1.0.1. And together with me is Alex once again.
Hello once again, episode 3. Maybe this time we'll get through what we got through the first 2 episodes. Maybe we'll even make some progress.
Maybe. I doubt it though,
Yeah,
because this is much welcome news. I feel like all the things that we complained about, or at least most of them, have been changed in some way.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's good news for the game, but very bad news for my how to play videos.
Yeah, you're gonna have to re-record those very soon.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm back again with my Julmust, and let's try it. So to begin with, the core mechanics and clarifications. And before we begin, I'd like to thank Daggy for helping me find the changes and the community patch and the uh, troll in the trenches. We everybody helped out to do our own changelog here.
Yeah, it helped a lot not to have to go through the document side by
Yeah.
side to look for it all instead of having it nicely laid out all the changes. It saves a lot of time.
I feel like Factory Fortress probably has a changelog, but they know the community likes to keep busy, so they have something to do now for a few days.
I don't think I could believe that. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, to begin with, dash is only move. You cannot charge and retreat. A clarification.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was fairly obvious, but any clarification to this stuff is
Yeah,
always good.
yeah,
No space to misinterpret is always a plus.
yeah. And they also fixed like the wording throughout the entire rules with uppercase letters and stuff like that. So
Mm.
that's nice. The next one is I always thought it was like this. I also presented it as this in my how to play video. Like when you jump up to stuff, as long as you hit the count, the edge of a terrain bit, you get up and you could like just put your base up there.
Mm.
And this is now clarified as it should be. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, which one is um
Jumping onto terrain and ending your move there no longer requires extra movement.
oh yeah, the that was an FAQ as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Um yeah, I think it's good. It's a bit I mean it does cause a balance change of a small balance change for especially larger models
Hmm.
where if you have a 60 millimeter model, uh, you get a lot of free movement
Yeah,
to
that's
move
like two
onto the.
inches.
Yeah, it is a lot, but I think it is nice. I think it's nicer to play
Yeah, for the
because otherwise,
fluidity of the game.
yeah, otherwise there's a lot of situations where you can't end up making the jump because you spend so much time, so much movement getting across.
Yeah,
So for play gameplay sake, I think it's a plus.
yeah. Yes, for like making cool moves and like have a fluid gameplay without
Hmm.
measuring every millimeter. Like I really like this for simplicity's sake.
Hmm.
And next one, shoot action. Now clearly states you cannot make a ranged attack and charge and fight in the same activation unless your weapon has the assault keyword.
Yeah, that one's quite a big change, really. I'm not entirely sure if it was needed, but so to try and like reword it into human words. Um, Essentially, if your ranged weapon doesn't have assault, previously you could no longer use a charge in the same turn as you shot.
Hmm.
Now you also can't use fight in the same turn as you shoot.
Hmm.
So
So you cannot, yeah.
if you have a way to shoot and then get into melee without a charge, you can't fight at that point. Or if you fight in melee, kill your opponent, you can't shoot.
Yeah,
Previously, you could.
yeah.
So it does end up impacting a lot of situations of the game, I think.
Mm.
And it's something to keep in mind now. That's a change that's going to affect a lot of boards. So make sure to remember that change.
Yeah, it's a when you once you remember it or learn it for once,
Mm,
it's easy to keep track of. But for us that played for like a year in the other way,
yeah,
it's harder for us. But it was harder to keep track of for us than it is now.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit to get used to, but as you say, you just have to get used to it.
Mm. Yeah, it's simpler now for new players at least.
Mm.
So ranged attacks and elevation. We spoke about this before. Uh, what meant with at least 3 inches above
Uh,
to get the elevation +1 dice. Like,
yeah,
was it exactly 3 inches or was it more?
yeah. And now I think it's clarified to be at least. I think that the document here might be a bit off. Um, Because the wording now is add +1 dice if the attacking model is at least 3 inches higher, which means that if you're exactly 3 inches now, which for example the tank
Hmm.
palanquin gives you, then it's a clear topic now. You are getting the elevated position. It's all good. So again, clarity, less ambiguity, less you are exactly 3 inches and not 1 point more, so you don't get the elevated position. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
good clarity.
yeah.
Again, good clarity,
Yeah.
and really clears up the tank palanquin. I think is the big one for that.
Mm. And also maybe all the trenches that are standards are 3 inches.
Yeah, if you make them exactly three
Yeah.
inches, I feel like I always get into an argument of that specific topic of no object is actually exactly 3 inches. That's not how physics works. You can't have an exactly 3 inches object. But yeah, if you rule them as 3 inches
Mm.
this way,
Yeah.
it is actually elevated position.
And this is the hallelujah moment. Like the diving charges are fixed, kinda.
Yeah, they look a lot better now, I think. Um,
So do you want to go through it?
yeah, sure. So you can now make a diving charge against enemies that are 3 inches below when you're charging. And previously in 1.0.0, you just jumped down, you took a fall damage, and if you got knocked down, then you're done. If you didn't get knocked down, you get to hit them with a diving charge. And now, instead, it's a bit more similar to the playtest rules. You take a risky success roll for the model. I believe it's when you land, if I'm not misremembering. Um, and if the roll is a failure, the model is taken down, and you take a falling injury roll. And if the roll is a success, you don't take a falling injury roll for the model, and you can add a +1 dice to the next melee attack that you make.
To hit, not to wound.
To hit,
Yeah.
yes.
And but also, in theory, I could diving charge from 100 inches tower, right?
You would have to be within 12 to declare the charge, but yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
you
that's
could
still.
fall 10 inches, and
Hmm.
no problem. Yeah,
Yeah, you're correct though with the 12 inches. How boring for me.
yeah. Terrible.
But
Maybe,
that's
maybe,
a pretty cool charge.
maybe you can ask the homebrew and just ask your opponent, can I just jump off this 100-inch tower
Yeah,
that
I
you
have
built?
I have a witch's tower that I built, which is at least 12 inches tall,
Mm.
and I have a portal up there, so you know enter through a portal to get up.
Uh,
And maybe if you can charge through the portal, but that's not really a falling. Whatever. Move on.
mm, yeah. Yeah, so diving charge looks a lot better, I think, and a lot more interesting than the simple jump down. And if you fall, you take damage, and if you succeed, if you don't fall, then you get to hit them. I
Mm.
think this way looks better. And
But
yeah.
if you're down from the fall, you can
Mm.
still attack, but like laying down. Or is
And
it ended?
yeah, with your new
It,
with the new rules, as soon as you go down, the activation ends.
so it's also a risky success roll, so that yeah, it
Yeah.
ends, of course. But shortest path not required to make a diving charge. That differs from the normal charges then.
Yes, I believe so. I think let me pull up the diving charge rules. I think it's Um, where is it? I think that it was the case where you don't have to make a take the shortest route in order to, uh, if you're on the side of a trench there and the enemy is further along, then you would have to jump down and then charge along, and then there wouldn't be a diving charge, so this way you can run along the trench and then jump
Mm,
down. So just a rule to facilitate that, I think.
mm.
Yeah.
I wonder if that can be abused to prevent, the get into combat with someone in the way scenario.
Uh, that's a very specific question that you're putting on the spot here.
But yeah, I like it. I feel like there are scenarios in which if I directly do a charge to
mm,
something, I will get into 1 inch with another enemy model and I will get stuck there. But if I do the charge as a diving charge somehow,
yeah,
I can go another route and not get stuck.
I suppose if it is legal to make the diving charge, then yeah, I think you can get around it with that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's also a neat trick, I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Uh, Also during the charges, now you may jump during a charge. That's a new clarification. Didn't feel like it was needed maybe, but
Yeah, I think again, it's just clarification in the wording.
mm,
I think it was just missing. Uh, what was it? Yeah, because before I think it said climbing, jumping, or moving through dangerous terrain is optional during a charge, and now it says
jump.
climbing, jumping, jumping down, or moving through dangerous terrain is optional. So,
Mm, yeah,
uh, a small hole that was missed that's patched up.
yeah.
Not the biggest details.
Another big thing, I feel like the flying can go through impassable stuff now.
Uh, yeah, I think the wording specifically, I think, is
It
move
treats it as open.
move across difficult, dangerous, or impassable.
Mm.
Um, so I'm not entirely sure exactly.
But impassable wasn't part of it before. That's a new.
No,
So it treats it as open terrain for movement, but you cannot like stand on it, of course.
yeah, you can't end on it still.
No.
And yeah, the examples that they give for impassable terrain, some examples are lava or hellfire, sheer cliff faces, etc.
Mm,
Basically, places you cannot stand.
mm,
And now you can move across them, which makes sense. You're flying, so
mm.
why not?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, Falling, jumping, climbing, falling injury roll timing clarified. What was the problem before? Do you know?
Um, I think if I'm remembering right, I'm trying to find that page specifically. Um, I think the problem was that it said um, there was a bit about if you get injured and fall, whether you would apply the penalty for already being down when you're falling, if I remember right.
Uh,
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, that was the case. Yeah. So they clarified that uh, the timing there of if you end up falling from being injured.
mm, all
So
right.
yeah, clarity. Good.
Uh, they set a cap on how many modifiers you can have.
Yeah, and it was kind of already in effect, but having it actually in the rule book is good. As a rule, there hasn't been any legal way to get more than -3 armor before.
Mm,
And that was just a rule that there was no physical way to do it, but actually having a thing in the rule book that says you can't do it
mm,
really helps patch up holes in the future
mm.
and in the present. There were ways, for example, machine armor could be paired with anything but a trench shield, and you would have -4 armor, like a
Yeah,
fire shield in House of Wisdom, or the Holy Icon shield from the Trench Pilgrims.
yeah. I
And
know
now this has
some sub
no,
factions like the Westphalia
mm,
homebrew sub factions had a little bit of weirdness.
yeah. So the rule book now says you cannot have more than -3,
Mm,
which is good.
mm. Yeah, that's nice. We already spoke about elevation, so now it's a time for the new Antioch special holiday. Like they celebrate this so hard.
Yeah, they were happy about this one.
Yeah, and they can once again do whatever they flip they want during a fire team. They can activate one, they can activate both. They get to choose and are no longer forced. I didn't feel like that this was such a huge problem as many people have taken it.
Yeah, I guess I don't play enough New Antioch to really know how it feels. But from all I've heard, they're very happy that it's back, and they were
Mm.
very sad when it was there. So good for them. I think that it does again. It adds a small layer of strategy to it about when you activate the two models versus the one model.
Yeah,
So I think that having the choice is fun.
I don't think it's a small layer. I think it's probably for them a huge thing, which really
That-
differs the pro player from the noob. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it is their main tactic,
yeah,
their main ace up their sleeve. They got really, yeah.
but yeah, for me it was like, okay, it's nice that you're forced because now you don't have to spend 10 minutes figuring out, oh, what's the smartest way to do this? Like, will I get out activated if I don't do this perfectly? Like that kind of headache. Like, get rid of it is my, but
That's why you need to play with that chess clock when you play.
yeah, I don't wanna, I don't wanna play those kind of games anymore
Yeah, yeah,
because I've done my fair share of chess clocking. So
fair enough. Yeah,
yeah,
good
assault.
change.
Yeah,
Good for Natiok.
yeah, assault we already spoken about.
Hmm? Uh,
So not
yeah,
much.
so assault changed to the the exception on not being able to fight and shoot in the same activation. Assault now covers that as well. So the same as before.
Mm.
No change.
You wanna explain the heavy?
Yeah, so we talked a bit about that one in the first episode, I think, about how the heavy keyword wasn't worded tightly enough. There was space to argue that you could dash and shoot, and we had a bit of discussion about whether that was intended and whether if it was intended, whether that could be an or if it wasn't intended, whether it could be a nice change. This makes it clear you can't dash and shoot.
Mm.
The rule explicitly now says you cannot make a range attack and take a move, charge, retreat, or dash action with the attacking model. Explicitly putting it, you can't do it.
Yeah,
So fair enough. That thing's dead.
yeah, good, good.
Yeah,
Impervious. I really like this. And I can't. There's not many models with it. This keyword.
impervious.
Yeah. How many has it?
The holy icon armor and shield from the trench pilgrims, the Damascus armor of the Iron Sultanate, the infernal iron armor of the court. What else? I'm sure there's something else.
Yeah, but not a lot though.
Not a lot, no.
Counter.
So they had ignore armor before as well, but the change is the armor piercing. The wording on armor piercing wasn't great.
Mm.
Like impervious only mentioned I block ignore armor, so there was space to say that armor piercing ignores it, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And now that's patched up, so armor piercing is not better than ignore armor because that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, fair enough, makes sense. Clarification, good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, pistol. I have no idea what changed here. Like, I haven't looked it up.
Quite a good one.
I've
More than
heard
the
that the sniper priest pistol is back, but I
the
don't know
sniper
how.
the sniper priest pistol is back. Pistol keyword now means that you can of course use it as a melee weapon, and when you use it as a melee weapon, you can choose to use the ranged or the melee characteristic.
Yes.
So the sniper priest has -2 in melee or whatever he has. We can now choose to use the +2 ranged instead.
And I also have aim now, so it'll be +4.
Yeah.
So freaking good.
So yeah, I think pistol wasn't great to begin with. Removing the ability to use ranged and melee wasn't didn't help, and this at least put it back.
This
So
set, like next weekend, I have a tournament,
mm,
and this settles it. I will play my sniper priest with the guns.
Good, good.
Uh, okay. Next, terrain. Yeah, trenches are only counted as open terrain if they are beneath 3 inches high. And fine.
Yeah, I think that's I think it was again a small wording change. I
Yeah,
think before it was
the,
clumsier worded, like mo not more than three, and now it's less than three.
yeah,
So
it's the same as I presented it in the how to play. So
yeah.
I don't have to change everything
Hmm.
with
No.
I hope. And like page 8 table size 4 times form confirmed. That's not really true. It's like you can still play 3 times 3 as well. You
Yeah.
can like I play on 4 times 6 as well. Like
Mm.
do whatever you want is my
Yeah.
recommendation.
Yeah, the change is that on page 8 before it just said, I think it said something like 3 by 3 or any other space that you want to play on. So a lot of
Mm,
people read that and thought, oh, the game should be played on 3 by 3 now.
yeah,
So now it actually says 3 by 3 or 4 by 4 or any
yeah,
other space.
yeah,
So
yeah,
people don't feel bad about that.
yeah. We got some more minute detailing changed. Elite or mechanized are changed to elite and mechanized. So it's not
Uh,
either or.
yeah, what specifically are we looking at here?
On the
Page 24, you
Yeah,
say?
exactly.
Um,
It's just they changed the wording from or
yeah,
to and.
I don't have much to say about this.
No.
No.
Machine armor must be on a 40 millimeter base.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
change.
Yeah. We went from in the playtest, you got the option to put them on a 40 millimeter base.
Hmm.
Then in the 1.0.0, that was gone. And now they must be on a 40 millimeter base
Hmm.
if it's smaller. I don't personally love it, but also that's just because I'm terrible at actually getting painting done. And the idea of having to bring out another model whenever I want to switch to machine armor is annoying. Um,
I got two things to say to that.
mm,
First one is what was the first? My brain is so fried. It's
mm,
Friday night. Okay, I'll take the second thing first.
okay,
The
okay.
second thing I was gonna say was you could either have, a base converter, just bloop,
Mm.
put it in.
Have like a ring around it that you can just plop it in.
Yeah, so it will
Yeah.
be 40 millimeter for that game.
Mm,
Or you could magnetize your model and boop, boop, boop on different bases.
yeah.
Or it's a fun, like for my sniper priest, for example, I have one with the flying wings and one without. Uh, so it's two
Yeah.
different models, and that's fun.
Yeah, I think that in the end I will end up, I'll end up making a 40 millimeter version of, for example, I'm about to play join a campaign with my defenders of the Iron Wall. So this is oh,
Put it on your
ah,
face.
put on my face. There
Yeah,
we go.
nice.
There's my Silladar ready to lead them into battle.
It looks
And
sick.
yeah, at some point I hope that he's going to roll imported wares. He's going to buy machine armor, and at that point I guess I will have to find another more armored model for this guy.
Yeah,
Um,
and
so
yeah, I remember the first thing now.
yeah,
Rules wise, there's so many things now that like affects like base size, not models, but what are their bases, and that's
mm,
why. Uh, like okay, I said last episode I don't care that can't use my ovals anymore.
right,
I will still play it as a 40 millimeter,
mm,
if and the same with your models. Like if it says 40 millimeter but it is actually on a 25, use your goddamn imagination.
yeah.
Like it's not that hard.
I don't think anyone's taking out the measuring tape and measuring your base anyway. If you
No.
say it's 40 millimeter on the rule book, then
Yeah.
it's 40 millimeter, right?
Yeah. uh, and charge bonus remains the 3 inches with the machine armor. So yeah.
Yeah,
Should we move on to the shotgun?
yeah, sure.
The shotgun has changed quite a bit. The heavy shotgun now got the shotgun keyword,
Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, when you now shoot with the heavy shotgun or anything with the shotgun keyword, it's -1 injury dice instead of to hit dice when rolling
Yes.
at long range.
Yes.
But the heavy shotgun has inherently a +1 injury dice anyway.
Yes.
So that's the thing, right?
So yeah, this is quite a long list of changes for a change that is very short. Because yeah, it changed specifically. Where is the heavy shotgun? Here it is. Um, so yeah, it got two new keywords. It got +1 injury dice and shotgun, and the bonus changed from +2 injury dice to +1 injury dice when shooting at short range. So it's a lot of changes, but in the end, all these changes do is at short range, you're shooting with +1 dice to hit. You were already doing this at and you're injuring at +2 injury dice at short range. At long range, you are shooting at no bonus injury dice, just like before, but you now get +1 dice to hit at range. This is the change. So in the end, the only thing that changed is you get +1 dice to hit at long range. This is the change to heavy shotgun,
Hmm.
which happened in a lot of steps by taking away one from a short range, adding it to the entire weapon, giving a shotgun keyword. Yeah, it's a long story to say +1 dice to hit at long range.
Yeah, it was a good story though.
It was a good story.
Every knife and dagger is now a trench knife. Cool.
It's got trench in the name. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think more things should have trench in the name.
And next one is your favorite, grenades. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, sure. So grenades were and I think still kind of is less so, but it's still in a little bit of a weird spot. Um, where before in the playtest they were ranged weapons, just like any other ranged weapon. Now they're no longer a ranged weapon; they are a grenade, but they are used as a ranged weapon. And there was a section that said they are a special type of ranged weapon. So there was lots of debate about things that apply to ranged weapons. Does that apply to grenades? And now they've taken the distance between the grenades and the ranged weapons. So they now say grenades have a range and can be used to perform a ranged attack, even though they are not specifically a ranged weapon. Uh, this does help against a lot of things like previously, for example, you could even apply incendiary ammunition to grenades, which doesn't make a
Weird.
whole lot of sense. Yeah, but also that's gone as well. We'll get to that later. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. And satchel charge is now explicitly a heavy explosive. Once during a game, a model with a satchel charge can use it to make a range attack, and they cannot be spammed all game long.
Yeah. So that was clarified in the first FAQ that we got as well.
Yeah.
Because rules is written as soon as the rules came out,
Mm.
people realized, oh, satchel charge consumable only applies after the game, which means I can throw it however many I
Yeah.
want. Now it says, yeah, you can use it once per game.
That was quickly fixed though.
Yeah,
And like I must also say that this change 1.0.1, like Tomas and the gang has said, like they've done nothing but trying to fix this since the rules came out. Uh, like no day off, no sleep, just fixing this as soon as possible. And if we compare this with like the Games Workshop or Marvel Crisis Protocol or X-Wing, like you could easily wait 6 months to get a fix like this, and we've gotten it now in 2 weeks. So again, like hands off to factory reporters, to a job well done.
hmm.
Uh, Next one, dum dum bullets, limited to weapons that do not have certain keywords.
Yeah, and this is a wider change that we're missing a little bit on here. All the bullets, all the consumable bullets, armor-piercing bullets, dum-dum bullets, incendiary ammunition, tracer bullets, even though they're not in game specifically speaking. Um, all of these now have the added rule that you can only use them on weapons that don't have blast, fire, gas, or shrapnel already.
Mm,
Uh, so this limits it a lot, but in ways that kind of make sense and balancing wise make sense.
mm,
You can't have incendiary grenade launchers anymore because they have blast. You can't have uh, armor piercing grenade launchers. You can't have incendiary ammunition. Trying to think of something with the gas. Well, gas grenades, which was previously allowed. You can't do that anymore. But
Does
you can
this
still.
affect Ammo Monk also then?
The Amamonk's ability to give someone blast, or um, I wouldn't say so. I think that I haven't looked at Amamonk, but unless Amamonk states has the same rule but in reverse, this isn't going to do that. Um, because armor piercing, like all these bullets, are applied before the battle. You give them the keyword, and then later in the battle, you're adding the blast keyword through the monk. Um, I don't think that these rules for the bullets are retroactive in that way. I think they're a one-time check at the start, and for that reason, it would be legal, unless the monk were to specify you can't do it on anything with armor piercing, critical, blah blah blah
Mm,
blah blah.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either, so I think it would be allowed.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
So next one is Alchemist Armor and Fire Shield.
Yeah.
These protect against ignore armor attacks with fire or gas. We spoke about the Alchemist Armor quite a lot last episode.
Yes, and happy to see that my interpretation was correct in that regard.
Your will be done.
Uh, that like yeah, as I said then, it doesn't make much sense for a lot of the gas weapons and a fair amount of the fire weapons ignore armor. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the alchemist armor to completely fall to those. So it is now clarified that the -1 dice to injury against fire and gas are completely separate to the ignore armor effect that the alchemist armor is put through. So you would ignore the armor value, you would still get -1 dice to the injury roll though.
Hmm.
So good to have that clarified.
Yeah. Do you want to take the next one, Masterwork to Sail? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, let me pull that down here. What do we have? Um, Not a very big change, just a bit of clarification on the word. Um, so the part that changed is the last sentences. Note that if the original attack was a critical success, you only added the extra. Extra was added in injury dice to the first injury roll. The extra dice do not apply to any subsequent models that are hit. So again, it's just minor clarification on adding a few words to make it just a little clearer.
Okay. And the next one, the Executioner's Axe. Have you heard the
Oh.
Goonhammer interview with
Uh,
Jamie?
no, I haven't had a chance to listen to that
It,
yet.
it was
No.
really good interview with. It was really fun listening to, and he said like the Executioner Axe, for example, it was an InDesign error. Like somehow when they like moved stuff around for the digital rulebook, the key, everything was just copied from this wrong thing,
Mm,
and he didn't know. Nobody knew how that got there, but it's now fixed.
yeah.
But it also inspired them to make a Trench Pilgrim weapon that had blast in melee.
Yeah, I did hear about that part, and like the only thing I think of every time when I hear that is we already have the anti-tank hammer. That's the anti-tank hammer, isn't it?
Mm, but have you heard about the Mega anti-tank hammer?
Mega anti-tank hammer. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I suppose we don't have a mega anti-tank hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Execution's Axe was a little bit of a mess, but again, that was one of the things that were changed in the errata,
Mm.
the first FAQ errata.
Yeah. Ammunition we spoke about cannot use the special ammunition cannot be used with blast, fire, gas, or shrapnel.
Mm.
Some faction changes, and the big one is New Antioch, we already spoke about. The new Antioch subfaction Papal State has their threshold value reduced by 200 ducats, like to begin with? Is that really true?
Uh, well, they always had less to begin
Yeah,
with
yeah, but have they
because
even further now? Even
no,
less?
no. Uh, what they didn't have before was a bit explicitly saying they had reduced threshold. So there was space to
Oh,
argue you could
right.
reinforce to 800 in the
Oh,
next battle.
goddamn people.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
And
whatever.
and we've just gone back and forth on that because that was the case at the start, and then they got that bit about explicitly having it, and then it was lost in 1.0, and now it's back. So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
clarification.
yeah. Okay, and Eerie Rangers, patron is always a learned saint. Cannot choose, I guess.
Yeah, and it was kind of already the case because the rules said that your patron is always Saint Patrick,
Hmm.
and it never really clarified what that means. But in Learned Saint, one of the examples that they gave was, for example, Saint Patrick. So
Oh, all right,
it
yeah,
was kind of open to wait, is my saint always Learned Saint?
yeah,
And yeah, now we know it is.
yep. And this is also a foreshadowing that we did the last episode with the New Antioch, Prussia.
Mm.
The tank split sword only works against armored units now.
Yeah, they
Yay!
Prussia got some small hits in this update, so thank you for
We
that.
did it!
We did it. Uh, they can also no longer take martyrdom pills. So that
Mm.
little rant I went on about how a cleric can walk around with free armor and -2 dice to injury. It's only -1 dice to injury now, so it's a little bear.
Mm. Also, a stricter limit on the tank splitter. It's a 2 instead of a 3.
I think it was 2 before as well. I think. One thing that was changed with the tank splitter, though, is that there is now a bit saying that tank splitter swords guaranteed 6 is not affected by the Dragon Slayer patron skill.
Mm.
Dragon Slayer being a skill that basically allowed you to set one of the dice to 6, which is the same effect that the tank splitter sword had. So you could set 2 dice to 6, and that
Yeah,
means you have a 12.
I dislike this change.
You dislike that change.
But like, how often do you like? You're not guaranteed to get that, right?
To roll Dragon Slayer?
Yeah,
Or, well, yeah, you need to roll Patron Saint, or a patron skill. Yeah.
yeah. And like, if you're lucky enough to do it with your dude with the sword, like, go ahead.
Yeah. Would you say the same about a 5,000-inch blast that ignores all range if you roll well enough on a dice? I think to some level, like there's got to be some
But
some limits to not
in
insta win.
to uh, have you never played Age of Sigmar? Have you?
I have played Age of Sigmar.
Have you played Archaon in Age of Sigmar?
No, I've not played Archaon.
That dude has a sword,
Uh-huh.
and I think he has 4 attacks to hit. Maybe it's, and you can buff them further in several different ways. So let's say you have 6 dice and
Hmm.
to hit, and you score to hit like 4 of them, and then you roll 4 dice to wound. If
Hmm.
2 of these are sixes, whatever you're facing, it might be a 1,000 point model, it's gone.
Right.
It gets absorbed into the sword. You can make no save.
That reminds me of we do have something like that in French Crusade, don't we? The Black Grail. Oh, what is it called? Beelzebub's Embrace, is it?
Yes. But my point is, if that thing can exist in Age of Sigmar, which is a highly competitive game, goddamn Dragon Slayer can exist in Trench Crusade.
Yeah, well, I think you're gonna have to take this one up with Thomas, to be honest.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't play Age of Sigmar though. It's just Jamie that plays Age of Sigmar.
Maybe Jamie can take the fight for you.
Yeah. Let's see next episode. It's changed again.
Yeah.
No, probably not. But like it's a campaign scenario as well. Like nobody cares competitively in a campaign.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, if your big, lieutenant gets hit by a 12, like an automatic 12, you might feel a little bitter about, oh, now I have to roll in the injury just because my opponent has bullshit skills.
but why did you get into combat with him then? That's your fault.
Well, that's easy to say, I guess. Yeah.
Like some people have never played against Archaon, and it shows.
Mm, truly. All right, next point, I guess. Abyssinia.
Yep.
Slight clarification here. Uh, Abyssinia had a bit that said that an expeditionary force of Abyssinia warband can include combat medics, and Misericordia have the limit 2 stipulations that are limit 1. Uh, every new Antioch warband can take combat medics, so that didn't say anything. What was omitted was can include 0 to 2 combat medics, so you can now actually take 2 combat medics for your 2 Misericordia.
Okay.
Good for them. Yeah.
Next one are the ecclesiastic prisoners. The martyrdom device does not require a roll anymore. How happy are
Yeah,
you?
we talked a bit about this,
Yeah.
about how they really got destroyed, didn't they? And yeah, happy to see that it looks a lot better, really.
Mm.
Yeah, so they now take a trigger martyrdom device action, and if they do, it explodes.
Yep.
Simple enough.
Yep.
I'm happy with that. I think the inconsistency was not needed for them, and I think at least this is a step back in the right direction, not a
Mm.
step back. So
No,
that's
but
good.
they are also get like one of the few that can attack unarmed.
They can attack unarmed, yeah. They can do the feeble flailing, which I think I talked about how they should be able to flail around. Yeah, they're bound, but you can still swing your arms around, and they can. So that's very nice.
But a dude with his fists without being stuck can't.
No, no, no. Well, he might hurt his fists. They don't care.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, one note on this, which I think is a little bit unclear right now, is that it says with -1 dice to hit. They can
Hmm.
attack unarmed with -1 dice. And they already have -1 dice in their melee stat profile. So there's a slight question up in the air of is that -2 or is that saying -1?
I'm gonna say yes.
It is like rules is written it's -2, but also I, their -1 doesn't do anything else other than allow you to attack. And if you can only attack with -2, at least make that -2 up there and just say they can attack unarmed. There's clarification to be had here, so I think that would be nice.
Mm. Yep. Or maybe just bring back unarmed fighting
That would work too.
and be
Yeah,
done with it.
be done with
Uh,
them.
so yeah, Saint Methodius.
Yeah,
They can no longer field ammo monks or communicant anti-tank hunters.
yeah. So this was a bit of a discussion I had with someone like a week ago or something. Because in the playtest rules, they couldn't take communicants or communicant anti-tank hunters explicitly. And then in 1.0, they can't take communicants. So there was a debate about, does that include the anti-tank hunters? I mean, lore-wise, probably, but rules-wise, it only says communicant, which is a very specific model. This solves that debate because, yeah, now it's explicit, says communicant anti-tank hunters, and also brought the Mendelist monks with them.
Mm.
Poor monks, caught at the crossfire there. Kind of a big balance change, I think.
Mm.
I think that a lot of Saint Methodius players that I've talked to really like the monk
Yeah, I
because
bet.
you can bring that with your shrine with autocannon and buff up the autocannon. Like that was pretty good. And losing that, I guess, probably a sad day for them.
Bringing a tank to a fist fight.
Mm, well, you can't fist fight.
Yeah. And once equipped, anchorite equipment cannot be removed or lost. Okay.
That one is good. Just a quick thing again, because there was a lot of debate about whether the equipment that allowed you to promote the shrine, whether you could promote it and then take it off and put it on the other shrine and then promote that one as well. This finally settles that once and for all, because you
Mm.
can't remove it ever.
Good.
So that's nice. Yeah.
Iron Sultanate has some changes. Assassin's Dagger can now retreat with a dash action. A dash action to retreat in the same activation.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's one of the few models that can use a dash as a retreat then.
Yes. And this was something we talked about with the hit and run
Yeah, yeah,
tactics that
yeah.
they couldn't do. And now they can actually do it. You can now charge in, hit the enemy, and then dash away from the enemy. So that's nice.
Yes.
Again, allows you to use dash action to retreat, and the assassin's dagger, of course, means that the enemy doesn't get to hit you. So in effect, you're just dashing away.
Mm.
Nice. Allows for more fun movement for the
Yeah.
assassins.
Next one is not fun. This does not spark joy. Bow of Alamut. Due to the bow not having assault, you can't shoot and fight in the same turn when using the bow.
Yeah, so this was a
We spoke about
uh,
the bow last episode.
yeah, I think this one has actually been emergency patched.
What?
Luckily, yeah, they released a very small change, technically 1.0.1.1, I guess,
Oh, yeah?
if you want to call it that, which had 3 changes in it. So if you, the viewer, downloaded your rules document within the first day, maybe go re-download it. Um, because the only thing that changed was um, the thing that we talked about earlier about not being able to shoot and fight. Sorry,
Mm.
yes, shoot and fight if the weapon doesn't have assault.
Mm.
This would affect the bow, but that bit is gone now. So luckily, this section isn't applicable anymore.
Was it changed specifically for this bow?
It was the general rule was changed. There was a misplaced or fight essentially. Um, so it was up at God, what page was that? Was it 34? Yes. So I think it was there was so in the initial version, what it said was a model cannot take a shoot or fight action and a charge in the same activation. So this meant that you can't charge and then fight unless your weapon had assault. This didn't make sense because melee weapons
Okay.
can't have
Okay.
assault. So
I
this
get
was
it.
changed. So now this is all right, luckily.
Okay.
Um, so the bow is alive. The bow is alive.
Good. I just wanted it to get assault.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice too.
Like Legolas has.
Hmm.
Iron's Ultimate House of Wisdom uh, PPT added the Alchemist has the negate fear keyword. Great. Fire shield, yeah, protects against ignore armor and fire attacks. Great.
Hmm.
Heretic Legions, the anointed move is 6 infantry. Yes, we know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, luckily fixed. Yeah.
And now it's fun time. Black Grail changes.
Yes, let me get down there.
Parasite grenades now have ignore cover and ignore long range. How cool is that?
Yeah, I think that was probably likely supposed to be there, just like normal grenades.
Hmm.
Because yeah, not having neither made parasite grenades unusable.
Hmm.
I mean, Black Rail models aren't known for their plus range skills, so to punish them if the enemies in cover and long range,
Yeah.
yeah, not needed.
Putrid shotgun has the shotgun. Yeah, fair. Viscera cannon now place an infection marker instead of a blood marker on the target. Like, yeah, it fits the theme.
Yeah, this was something that they had for a while in the playtest again. So glad to see it back. More
Mm.
infection markers are always fun. It's kind of unique to them. So
Yeah,
I think the more stuff with infection markers, the cooler.
yeah. Lord of Tumors, Beelzebub's touch now triggers on either blood or infection marker. Great.
Yeah. What is the? Yes. Yeah. Pretty good
Same
clarification.
same thing with the parasitic ticks for the corpse guard. Also triggers on infection and blood markers.
Yeah.
Grail thralls and fly thralls and dogs gain negate gas, which is cool. Like I think the entire team should have negate gas all the time.
I think they mostly do, if I'm not mistaken. The problem was that these were forgotten. But for example, if I scroll down quickly, I believe that, for example, yeah, Corpse Guard has negate gas, for example. Say a Plague Knight. Yeah, I
Mm.
think I think
Nice.
the frauds were just kind of forgotten there. So
Okay. Court of the Heavens had seven-headed serpent. You can now use the cast spell action more than once per activation. but you cannot cast the same spell more than once per activation. What? You can now.
Yeah, so Court has gone through quite a bit of stuff from playtest to now. So in playtest, they were simple actions that you could make your spells. And in 1.0, they introduced an action called cast spell action. And with the stipulation that you can only make a cast spell action once per activation. This meant that, for example, let's say you have a Pride sorcerer, for example, who has Burning Inferno and what is that? Light of Samael? Is that what it's called? I think. I believe both of those are cast spell actions, which means you couldn't do both of them in the same activation. People felt this was a bit limiting, as the sorcerer doesn't have a lot of spells to cast to begin with. So this is now removed. You can now cast it multiple times. So, good.
All right, yeah. So you can use as many cast spell actions as you have. If you have 4 spells that are different, you can cast all 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've not played too much court. I'm not too much of a court person. But I kind of also wonder what the purpose of the cast spell action is now at this point. I don't know if it does anything. So if you,
Probably future proofing.
yeah, I'd say so. Maybe something like when you take a cast spell action, something happens. Who knows? But right now, it just looks like you take a cast spell action to make a Burning Inferno, and you could just make a Burning Inferno right away. So I don't really know why it's there at this point right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get back to it maybe. Like I feel like there was something, but I can't place my tongue on it. I've read it, but yeah. Sorcerer, Blessing of the Serpent Moon is no longer included in the limit of the free chaotic powers. Okay, so it's on top of it.
Yeah, so that was the case in playtest, and then in 1.0, it counted as one of the sorcerer's 3 powers, which essentially meant you could only choose 2. Now you can choose 3 again. So
Yeah.
one more spell for the sorcerer.
And the Bow of Lethe is now one-handed. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, is this assault?
That has assault, yes.
Why? Why?
Well,
Goddamn
this
Hunter.
bow is special. I think the 100 part, I think that's how it was in the playtest. I think it was a typo that it wasn't in this version. So good to be fixed.
I just feel it's unfair that it's assault.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get teleport when you shoot something.
Yeah, we just teleport all the time instead.
Yes.
Goddamn Hunter.
Yes.
Okay, I played a few court matches, and they get the hunter and they get fireballs in. So
Yeah.
envy, coveted position, goetic spell. The target must be within 12-inch range in line of sight and more than 1 inch away from any other models. How was it before? Was it not line of sight?
I think it didn't ask for line of sight.
Mm.
I think. I can pull up the old version just to be sure of that. It would be in there. Let's see. But I think, yeah, I think it was mostly, it wasn't so much a balance change here. I think it was mostly just a clarification change again.
Mm.
Okay, trying to search here is impossible. Yeah, so the old one did not ask for line of sight,
Yeah,
if I'm reading this right. Yeah.
so that's fair.
Yeah.
Lots of things now require line of sight that didn't before.
Hmm.
Last Forbidden Pleasure goetic ability start with 3 blood markers instead of 2. Oh, that's a buff.
Yeah, which one is that? Yeah, sounds like a buff. I don't know too much about the court specifically, but having their starting blood battery, a start of 3 instead of 2, pretty
Yeah.
solid.
And the skills you can roll in a campaign, Athletic includes stabbing charge interaction. War stories, only one model per warband can have it.
That's quite
Agile,
that's quite a big one for
okay.
just preventing exploity stuff, because war stories in playtest was you can choose one model to get one experience. War stories now became every other model that doesn't have war stories gets one experience at the end of a battle.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
could theoretically have three of them, and then everyone gets free experience per battle, which is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Agile also includes diving charge interaction,
Hmm?
and that's it on this list. Have I forgotten something you know about?
Uh, Not as far as I'm aware. There's some minor stuff really, but one of them is that, for example, Scripture Guardian, that
Yeah.
had a slight issue in 1.0 where it said the base was 32 millimeter,
Mm,
and some people started panicking. And I hope no one tore their Scripture Guardian off its 40 millimeter base and put it on 32, because it's back to 40 as it should be.
mm.
So
As
hopefully you
God
didn't.
intended.
It's got intended for it to be. Hopefully you didn't tear it off the 40 millimeter, because it needs to be on there. Um, but no, other than that, I think that's really the big ones.
Yeah, and like I was very happy when I saw this. Like all the things that we felt was minuses are now fixed. Like, can you remember another minus that hasn't been fixed?
Uh, unarmed, unarmed. But
But
no, other than that, no, I don't think so.
it's fixed on the most important unit, the
That's
prisoner.
true. The prisoner can melee now. That's what really matters here. One change in this update, which I think is a catastrophe, that I need to bring up,
Mm?
is the Heretic Naval Raiding Party. Um, the Heretic Naval Raiding Party has been renamed from Naval Raiding Party to Heretic Naval Raiders. They're no longer a party, they're just raiders. And I think that is a catastrophe. If we don't have a party, I don't know why we're raiding.
Is uh, is it a party like that you could vote on, do you think, or is it a party like, woohoo, let's party?
I think it's both. I think it was both. I think they were a nice democratic submarine that also partied. And now they're not. Now they're just raiders. Now they're just uncivilized raiders.
Yeah, I feel like they are too piratey and raidery to have like a political party. So I would vote that it was more like a party, and that's
Mm.
quite boring to be nerfed so hard.
Yeah, it's a very boring change, and I think Thomas needs to revert this one.
Yeah,
Bring the party back.
bring the party back. That that should be the title of this episode.
Sounds good.
And yeah, that's it for the emergency changes.
Yeah,
In our next episode, we will continue to discuss the last two factions that we haven't gone through yet,
yeah.
which was, if I can, the court and the black rail.
Court and Black Rail.
Yeah, which is really nice that now we can include the actual
Yeah,
final changes, so to speak.
and we also need to talk about mercenaries, of course.
Yeah, and but that will have to be another day.
That will be another day.
So uh, I kind of wanted to speak a little bit about Julmust to our international viewers
Okay.
because we have lots of Americans watching this show.
Statistically, majority, I think it was, right?
Yeah, and they they don't have Julmust. They have been indoctrinated by the Coca-Cola company, which you know, that during Christmas you get Coca-Cola commercials with Santa, and they're trying to bring like Coca-Cola is a holiday special.
Mm.
But in Sweden, if we go to here, the how do I change language on Wikipedia? There, that's English. Julmust and Coca-Cola. In Sweden, Julmust outsells Coca-Cola during the Christmas season. In fact, the consumption of Coca-Cola drops by 50% over the holiday.
Yeah.
This was quoted as one of the main reasons that Coca-Cola Company broke away from their contract with the local brewer Pripps and started Coca-Cola Drycker Sverige AB instead. Coca-Cola Drycker i Sverige produced its own julmust with the Coca-Cola Company name. Their julmust was never advertised until 2004 when Coca-Cola started marketing julmust under the brand Bjäre julmust. But they bought up the syrup from Roberts AB, blah blah blah, was only sold at McDonald's and was disappeared. And uh, Sweden doesn't have a lot of, patriotic spirit, but if there's anything one can be proud of, it's that during 1 month, Julmust sells more than Coca-Cola.
Yeah. And I will quickly. Do you think we can get a sponsorship from IKEA if I do this? If you're an American who wants to drink Julmust, IKEA sells Julmust during the Christmas season. So find yourself an IKEA, go
Yes.
there, ask for Vintersaga festive drink, 17 ounces, £1. No, sorry, not £1.50. This is the UK. $1.50 gets you a bottle, and it's really good. I
Is
think.
it?
I don't know. I haven't tried the IKEA version, but I hope so.
Yeah, I must next episode review Julmust.
Yulmust review. We'll get 5 different bowls of Yulmust and sit here at the end and go through them all.
Yeah. So that will be it. Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye, everyone.